In this week's bonus video, we are taking you along to an art show. But first, just in case you're new around here, here's a quick introduction in case you're wondering who we are.
Hi there, I'm Stacy, the encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. Encaustic literally means to burn in. So I paint with beeswax and a torch, and because it's mixed media, pretty much anything else I can get my hands on. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Consider subscribing and joining this artsy community. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, which helps me get introduced to more like-minded artsy folks like yourself. Hi all. I don't know if you can see that mess back there behind me, but we are getting ready to head to the Delaware, Ohio Art Festival, and I thought I'd take you along for this little kind of mini journey, if you will. So first up, we need to load some things into the truck. So I'll flip the camera around and kind of show you what we're taking. All right, this is the large pile of stuff that is going. And let me step around it and show you, not the bike. We're not taking Matt's bike. Or the golf clubs back there, or the cooler. But the rest of it we're taking. Anyways, let me step around the mess and show you a few things. Alright, so I always take a plastic tub, and that is in case it rains. And I kind of learned this the hard way one year, especially when you're on a grassy surface. If the grass is dewy or if it rains and there's puddles, you want a plastic tub to put stuff in. So, and then these black things behind that plastic tub, those are what I hang the pods off of, which hopefully I'll get a chance to show you. Then I've got that art you saw us pack up in that box. And then some more art. These are the tent weights you saw us make in a previous video, and more art boxes. And then there's a table back there that I also set up, and then that small pile right here is booth supplies. So let me try to step back here, not trip over anything. I also have a Uramax tent, and again, hopefully I'll show you all this stuff once it gets set up. And then these are mesh panels from Flourish, and if you've been to art shows, a lot of artists use these. It's not something that I invented. In fact, they're meant for art shows. So anyways, that's what's all going into the truck. So yeah, I think we're going to load up here. Hopefully we'll be dodging some raindrops because we are supposed to have some rain coming in, but we'll see how it goes. All right, it's a very warm one out there this evening, so we're just going to load up the bed of the truck basically, which you've probably seen or are seeing now, and then we're going to put the art in the back seat tomorrow, hopefully right before we leave. It is supposed to rain all day tomorrow, so fingers crossed we can kind of load things in and out of the rain. But yeah, at least the back of the truck is loaded up with the tent and that stuff that, you know, won't hurt from the heat. And I should say we have a fairly light load this time around. Normally we are going and camping for a while during the art show. We are taking the camper, the bubble, but we're only staying for the weekend. In fact, we're gonna probably get in tomorrow night, like at 8 o'clock. I have to get up very early. Setup time on Saturday is 6 a.m. And then the show goes till 7 p.m. on Saturday, and then Sunday it's 10 to 5. So we're going to have very little time at the campground, so we're not taking all of the normal camping stuff, and we're not staying really after the show. We're going to get up first thing Monday morning and head back here. So it's going to be a quick trip. Hopefully I'll be able to take some time to film some of it for you all. That's my plan anyway. So if you're seeing this video, I succeeded in doing that. Anyways, I'm gonna make some dinner tonight, and then we're gonna get up tomorrow, work part of the day, and then hopefully hit the road at a somewhat decent time. So we'll see you then.
Good evening and happy Friday. We are on the road, as you can see. Didn't film packing up the art into the back of the truck, but it is all stacked up rather neatly back there. It was, of course, drizzling while we were packing it up, so I just was in a hurry to get it packed. And we are listening to a book about the Kent State shootings back in Ohio in the 1970s. 1970, I believe. So, at any rate, thought that was fitting for heading into Ohio, and as you can see, the sun has decided to come out just as we were crossing the Ohio line. We're headed to Alum Creek State Park, and I'll pick you up when we get there.
Hey all, it is 8:30. Made it to Alum Creek Campground. It's kind of dark out there now. We did get set up all good and just making some dinner, heating up some quick spinach curry with some field roast, vegan, easy, light-ish kind of dinner since it's already 8:30. We have to get up very early tomorrow morning, and so I'm hoping tomorrow to show you around the campsite, but we're here and situated and all is good. It's raining.
Glad we didn't set up the tent tonight.
Also, we're under a tornado warning.
I got those weights this time. No problem.
Oh dear.
Let's go to an art show.
Yay!
Good morning. We are up bright and early, going to make a quick cup of coffee here in the camper before heading to the Delaware Arts Festival in Ohio. And I have to say the town of Delaware is super cute and quaint. We got set up without any hiccups really, except we forgot the legs to those metal pieces to hang the pots, but I think everything still looks really good. And we are now ready for the show. Bring on the collectors. I also wanted to mention that the weights that Matt made in the previous video worked out really nicely as the wind did pick up some around here in the afternoon.
Evening all. You probably can't tell by the very bright lighting in here, but it's about 9:30, quarter to 10. I think it's actually more like 10. Anyways, long day, good day. I'm going to share my feelings, I think, at the end of the video about the Delaware Arts Festival, just because I'm too tired tonight to kind of dive into anything. It hasn't been bad, so I should say that. But yeah, I just want to kind of gather more of my thoughts on that. We had a very non-healthy dinner tonight, but it was quick and fast and easy, and that's what we were after at 8 o'clock tonight. So long day, and I think we're gonna call it for this evening. Hopefully we've gotten a couple shots of the Delaware Arts Festival for you all, and we'll be picking you back up in the morning. Haven't still gotten any video of Alum Creek Campground. It is noisier here, I will say that. It's a beautiful state park, and the campsites seem to be pretty well spaced apart, but you know, it's just noisier. People are people, and it is Saturday night, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear this at all in the background, but somebody out there is playing rather loud music, but you know, it is what it is. So anyways, we're gonna see you all in the morning. Hope you all sleep well, and we'll see you shortly.
When you've been standing all day, you need to stretch, but you feel the beat of the campground.
Y'all probably can't hear that music in the background, but they're thumping out there. We're going to bed in here, though. I'm tired. Are you tired?
I'm getting my groove, my second wind.
Maybe you could join
them.
Yeah, say join that campsite. I'm going to bed. Good morning. Thought I'd give you a quick campground tour or campsite tour. We are in G14, I believe, here at Alum Creek Campground. So let me flip the camera around and give you a quick tour. All right, here's the general campsite. It's fine. Older picnic table, but it's fine. Pretty nice fire ring with a grate, and it is cleaned out. So whoever was here before us did a nice job of that anyways. And we're on a concrete pad, as you can see, and it's a very level site. So we didn't have to do any leveling on the tires. I think we maybe put one block on the other side, but very level site. And we have electric. Some campsites also have full hookup. We just have electric here, but that has been nice because we've been able to run fans to drown out some of the noise. It's very quiet here this morning though.
And just like that, the art show is over, the weekend is over, we've packed up and are headed back home to West Virginia. Stay tuned for my thoughts on the art show.
Hi all, we have made it back from the art show. Left very early this morning to beat some of the Columbus rush hour traffic. I think we left at about 5:45 in the morning. But drove for about an hour-ish or so. Stopped off real quick at a rest area to make coffee because we didn't even take the time to do that. We just like basically packed up and got on the road first thing in the morning. And yeah, stopped off to make a quick cup of coffee or two and then hit the road again, and now we are back. So I thought I would share my thoughts with you all about the Delaware Arts Festival. And I first just wanted to do a quick little disclaimer here, and this is just my personal opinion. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. If you're interested in trying out the Delaware Art Show, try it out yourself. Don't just, you know, kind of take my word for it if you think it would be a good fit for you. But here's just my personal opinions on it. All right, first, was it worth it going to the show? I think, yes, it was worth it. It was one of the least expensive art shows I've ever gone to as far as like your booth fees and things like that. So in that retrospect, I felt like I didn't have a whole lot to lose. It wasn't a real expensive show or anything like that. And it was a 2-day show. So I always like doing the 2-day shows because by the time you set up and get everything organized, it's nice to do a 2-day show so you don't go through all that effort just for one day. And it also allows more people to come into the show. And speaking of people coming into the show, the traffic there was constant. They had a lot of people wandering around pretty much all day Saturday and Sunday. Sunday was a little bit more quiet, but not quiet by any stretch of the imagination. There was just a constant flow of traffic and of people. So I think they do a pretty good job advertising, and I think it draws a lot of people out to the area, which is good. All right, and now I'm going to share kind of maybe some of the negative opinions that I have on the show. The first one is that it definitely is more craftsy. So you're competing with more some craft items, definitely some less expensive items, and more non-artsy kind of things. Like they had people making wreaths, and they had wood signs that I might not necessarily consider art. Just more craftsy. Not that that's a bad thing for any of you that do crafts. Please don't consider this a bad thing. I just prefer when I'm going to a show to have it be more fine art, because then I'm competing with fine art prices. And that's my only downside to that, is that it's hard to compete when you have large fine art pieces with perhaps more crafty items. Just my personal opinion there. One person pretty much made my show because they bought a large painting, and because the show wasn't really expensive to get into, that pretty much paid for the show and our camping. So it was kind of a break even. And then I did end up selling a bunch of other little things, so that worked out. And so that's why I said, like, take this for what it's worth. I don't want to badmouth an art show, but I thought I would just give you my opinion in case you're considering going to this one. And I also talked to a couple other what I would consider more fine art artists there, and they were having the same kind of, I don't know if issues is the right word, but same kind of issues, I'll just say that. As far as finding buyers, there's a lot more ticky-tacky stuff. And matter of fact, I talked to one artist and people were trying to like dicker with prices. That did not happen to me, thankfully. But I just know normally when people are at a fine art show, they're not trying to dicker with pricing necessarily. So, but again, just take all this for what it's worth. It's just my opinion.
Hi all, video editing me coming at you, and I just wanted to say one more thing about the traffic and art buyers, or buyers in general, because I forgot to say thank you very, very, very much for anybody that did come in, have a conversation about my art or encaustic. Anybody that bought a piece, whether it's big or small, I truly do appreciate it, and I'm hoping that this doesn't come off ungrateful, or that I wasn't grateful for you all or for the Delaware Arts Festival, because that's not what I'm trying to say. I just wanted to give my opinion on it, that's all. And like I said, take it for what it's worth, but I did want to make sure to say thank you to anybody that came in, had a conversation about art and caustic,
and or that also bought a painting or a small little air plant pot. I really do appreciate it. Now, as far as the setup and teardown, this was on the street, which you saw a video of us making the concrete weights for the tents. Those worked out really well, and the setup was nice and easy. It is a somewhat what I would consider more of a quick setup. You set up Saturday morning and then you tear down Sunday night. So you don't have like an extra day to set up or extra time to tear down per se. So just know that also in advance, which they had, you know, all of this was perfectly explained when before you applied for the show, and then once you got into the show, all of this information was explained. So this wasn't anything that I didn't know or that they didn't explain properly, but just gonna put that out there. And because they closed the street down, which hopefully you'll have seen some video of. So because they closed the street down only for a certain amount of time, you only have a certain amount of time to get in and get out. And the parking wasn't real far away, but it was a definite little bit of a walk as far as trying to carry art back and forth and things like that. So, you know, it was no big deal, the setup and the teardown. We had no issues with it. And I don't think anybody around us did. At least I didn't notice anybody around us doing that. But, you know, just throwing that out there, I don't know that that's really a negative necessarily. And just to kind of put a final bow on this video, like I said at the beginning, I think it would be worth your while to apply for the show, especially if you're in the area and you don't have to worry about getting a hotel or camping like we took the camper. Oh, also if you're in the area and you're not an artist, check out Alum Creek Campground. It's very pretty. Hopefully you've seen some pictures of that already by now too. But yeah, I think it's worth going to at least once. And you never know, you may have better luck than I do. There was a pottery place right next door. Wonderful people. If I think about it, I'll put their link down below because they were really nice and sweet. And they've done this art show, I think she said for 3 or 4 years now, maybe even more than that. At any rate, they did great. They had some smaller ticketed items that they sold out of and actually had to restock. So, you know, and each little small ticket item adds up quickly. My thing, and it's probably more my problem than perhaps a art show problem, was my smallest ticketed item is about $35. So, and you know, that was still, I think, maybe a little bit too high for some people. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up and let you go here. Thanks for coming along. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will make sure to link the Delaware Art Show down there below in the description in case you're interested in checking it out next year. All right, thanks. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.